Hello, welcome to the channel. My name's CavemanAston and today I'm going to be fabricating a metal table to put this here milling machine on. And if you have seen the previous episode where I built myself a pair of giant roller skates, I'll leave a link in the description below. I'm going to cut to a clip of me using them to get this across the driveway. I hope you enjoy. I don't know about you, but I was surprised at how easy I found that to move across the driveway, even on top of the gravel. Those giant roller skates made a world of difference. The mill itself weighs in at about 110 kilos, plus I've got the vise, the pallet that it was sat on, all the tooling that I've got with it. It must have weighed a fair bit, so I'm quite pleased with that. The next step is to make the table. The mill itself comes with a tray to sit it on top of. You can see it's got the set of 4 holes in that will line up with the mounting points on the actual mill itself. I'm going to use that with some box steel tubing, 50mm by 50mm by 3mm, and then I'm going to use that as a template to start making the table with. Because the mill is so heavy, I wanted to make sure that the weight was going to be distributed quite evenly across the tray and onto the table itself. So what I did is I took some lengths of the tubing that were originally far too long, the standard lengths. I've sort of made a template and just let it out to get a general gist of where the different supports were going to go. Originally the plan was to build the table to line up with the drill holes that were already in the table, with these 2 supports here, but I thought what would be really handy is if the table was slightly wider. It'll give it a bit more stability, and on the underside it means I'll actually be able to fit some decent sized either drawers or table sorts of areas to just rest stuff on. So I decided I'd have these 2 supports that run front to back. These are where the mounting holes will go through to actually bolt the mill to. But I then decided to put these longer bits in at the back and then another one at the front. I can weld all of that together. That'll become a flat surface. I'm then going to have some 900mm lengths coming off the corners around here. And then these will become table legs, like so. And by bringing the table legs further out, it means I'll have a much wider space between here, rather than having quite a narrow table like this, which would be potentially a bit easy to flop over if it gets unbalanced. So I'm going to weld all of this up, and then we'll start drilling some holes to put the bolts through to mount the mill, and then I guess it'll actually be a case of trying to get the mill across, which is going to be fun. Alright, so what I've done, guys, is I've drilled the holes through here up to 12mm, I've gone and brought myself some 12mm bolts that are going to be long enough to go through this, the tray and the mill when it's installed, with a bit spare left to thread some nuts onto the end. I'll just put the bolts through the hole, he says. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the bolts through the holes. That's going to lock everything in place, so I can then push these beams up together, get it all lined up on the tray. I can just run some tack welds on the corners, get it all tacked in place. Once it's tacked in place, I'll run all the way around with the welds, and this will make sure it will fit together once it's finished. So I've got the top part of the table all welded up. As you can see here, got the 4 drill holes in it, got the 2 end beams. What I do want to do is I just want to make sure it's actually going to be strong enough to take the weight of the mill. So what I've done is I've got 2 metal beams on the floor. I'm going to split this across it. I'm going to just stand on these middle sections that the mill is actually going to sit on and is bolted to. And I'm going to carry 30 kilos of weight bench weights, which will take me and the weights up to about 100 odd kilos. So if one of these can take it and the other one can take it, then the pair of them will definitely be able to support the mill. Well, so that's the best part of 100 kilos that will take, so it will definitely support the mill without a problem. Slight problem is the fact that the metal's actually bowed ever so slightly or warped as it's been welded, but luckily the top surface is totally flat, and I'll be able to take the warp out with some adjustable feet that I've ordered, so they'll go in the end of the legs when they've been finished, and I'll just be able to adjust the height ever so slightly to make up for the warp. Guys, we got there in the end. Unfinished table. I ran out of gas halfway through and I had to resort to using the stick welder, which meant I had to come outside in the rain, although it's stopped luckily enough. So the table's all finished, got a couple of ugly welds, they'll be at the back of the table, so nothing too much to worry about. Now I'm just going to stick on the top plate and move the mill across and hope for the best. That's a lie. I still need to put in some bottom brackets on the bottom legs, on the bottom of the legs. So I've got some right angle bracket. I'm just going to cut that to size, drill the holes for the feet, then weld that up, then it's ready to go. Go do that next. So I've got my milling machine all mounted up on its table. For the most part it went okay, apart from when I mentioned earlier the gas ran out for the TIG welder, so partway through I started noticing quite a lot of bubbles appearing in the weld, and turns out that's the gas running out slowly. So I was still getting some shielding gas, but it was enough to keep on getting inclusions in the weld, so it was bubbling over as it was happening. So I had to do a bit of stick welding, forgot to reverse the polarity on that, so I ended up with some questionable welds at best, but it's all together now, so, and it's certainly holding up, so I'm quite pleased. The milling machine isn't quite perfectly flat, so I've only been able to bolt down on the 3 of the points, bolt down the last corner, and it starts to warp the frame, so the cross slide here for the table tends to lock up quite easily if I do that, so I'm going to have to put some shims in, but otherwise it's all good. So you may have noticed in the bit of video I did just now with a quick tour, I put a shelf down on the bottom, just going to allow me to store a few bits. At some point, once I've got used to using it, I might decide to put another shelf about halfway up to make some more use of the space underneath. And I'll do that later, which is why I've not painted it just yet. I have gone round and just put some oil over the whole table, just to try and stop any air getting to it and to slow it down rusting. So once I've decided where the second set of shelves will go, I can then weld those up, paint it properly, which will mean getting this back off, which will be a whole other thing, but cross that bridge when I come to it. So now all I need to do is decide what my next project's going to be and actually use this thing. So if you guys have got any ideas of what you'd like to see, do let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed watching this and want to see more of me, please do hit the subscribe button. And my next video, I'm hoping to make some LED lightings to go on the garage ceiling, which will hopefully mean that I get a bit more even lighting in the videos. It means I can use the workshop a bit easier without having to work around lights as I block them out with my own shadow. And yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.